Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real. When a man starts to feel the pain of losing a woman who truly loved him, it's not always loud, sometimes it's quiet. It's in the way he stares at his phone, hoping your name appears. It's in the way he remembers your laugh out of nowhere. It's in the silence that follows the moment he realizes he's the one who messed up. You see, a man doesn't always understand your value when he has you, because comfort can make a person blind. But the moment you step back, when your energy is no longer available, that's when he starts to see the truth. When your absence starts to hurt more than your presence ever did, that's when a man begins to feel the real pain of losing you. At first, he doesn't notice it. He thinks it's just another quiet day, just another space to feel. But the truth is that silence starts to eat at him little by little. He wakes up and reaches for his phone out of habit, expecting your good morning text, expecting your love to be waiting like it always was, but it's not there anymore. That small moment of emptiness becomes the first cut. He tells himself he's fine. He pretends he doesn't care. But that's the thing about real connection. You can't replace it. You can't forget it, and you can't fake it. He begins to realize that your absence is louder than your voice ever was. He goes through his day and everything reminds him of you. The way you used to check in, the way you'd say something funny just to make him laugh when he was stressed, the way you had that calming energy that made everything seem okay. Now he's looking for that peace in other places, but he can't find it. He might talk to other people, hang out, try to fill that gap with distractions, but it doesn't work, because what's missing isn't just a person, it's the energy you brought, the comfort you gave, the stability you built around him. He realizes that your presence wasn't just love, it was balance. You made things flow smoothly. You made his world make sense. And now, without you, everything feels offbeat, unstable, and incomplete. He begins to remember how effortless things felt when you were there, how you always seemed to know when something was wrong, how you cared in ways he didn't even notice at the time. That realization starts to sting because he knows now that he took that peace for granted. He thought your consistency would never fade, but now your absence has become a constant reminder that love is not guaranteed. Every time he tries to move forward, he feels that void, the space where you used to be. And that void doesn't shrink. It grows. It grows because your presence was more powerful than he ever admitted. There's a strange thing that happens when someone truly misses you. They begin to see what they ignored. He starts to notice how quiet life is without your voice. The jokes don't hit the same. The victories don't feel as sweet. The nights feel longer. Even the smallest things like a song you loved or a phrase you used to say start to carry weight. That's the pain of absence. It's not about loneliness. It's about losing the person who made life feel full. And now he's learning the hard way that your absence isn't just silence. It's a lesson. It's the sound of what he lost when he stopped appreciating what he had. When his pride begins to crumble under the weight of regret, that's when you know the pain has truly set in. See, a man's pride is powerful. It's the shield he hides behind, the armor he wears to look strong, even when he's breaking inside. At first, when you walk away, he tells himself he's fine. He'll say things like, "I'm good," or "she'll come back," because pride won't let him admit that he's hurting. But over time, pride becomes heavy. It stops protecting him and starts suffocating him. He starts to replay the moments when he could apologize but didn't. The times when he saw you crying and chose silence instead of comfort. Those memories hit different when the person you took for granted isn't around anymore. Regret is a slow burn. It doesn't come all at once. It creeps in quietly. It shows up when he sees your name and can't call you. It shows up when he hears a song that reminds him of you, or when he scrolls through old pictures and sees how genuinely happy you look standing next to him. That's when the truth hits. He realizes that every moment of ego cost him something real. He remembers the arguments he turned into battles just to prove a point, not realizing that winning didn't matter if it meant losing you. He starts to feel that sting in his chest every time he remembers the look in your eyes when you were trying to make it work and he wouldn't meet you halfway. Pride might have felt powerful back then, but now it feels empty, and that emptiness is his punishment. He starts to wish he had done things differently. He wishes he had told you how much you meant to him instead of assuming you already knew. He wishes he had listened when you said you were tired instead of dismissing your feelings as dramatic or emotional. That's the cruel part about regret. It gives you perfect vision when it's too late to change anything. Now, every "I don't care" he ever said echoes back to him, and he realizes that he did care. He just didn't know how to show it until you were gone. Pride made him believe he had time. Regret teaches him that he didn't. When that pride finally cracks, he feels the full weight of what he's lost. He starts thinking about reaching out, not because he wants control, but because he wants forgiveness. He wants to be seen again by the person who saw him at his worst and still loved him anyway. But the silence that meets him reminds him that he waited too long. That's when the pain hits the hardest. Not when you walked away, but when he realized that his pride walked you out of his life. And now all he's left with are memories of a woman who once gave him everything and a heart full of regret for not fighting harder to keep her. When he starts fighting for your attention, because he finally knows your worth, that's when you know the pain has truly reached his soul. At first, he never had to fight for it. You were always there, texting him first, checking in, giving love, giving effort, giving pieces of yourself without him even asking. He got used to that rhythm, the comfort of knowing you'd always be available. But when you stopped showing up the same way, when you pulled your energy back and started choosing yourself, that's when everything started to change for him. Suddenly, the attention he once took for granted became the very thing he's now chasing. He starts noticing that your name doesn't pop up on his phone anymore, that the warmth of your energy is missing, and that he can't feel your presence the way he used to. That emptiness pushes him in action, not because he's bored or lonely, but because he realizes that your attention wasn't just affection, it was a reflection of love, care, and loyalty that no one else gives him. He starts texting you again, maybe liking your post, maybe asking people about you. Every small attempt he makes is his way of saying, I miss what I lost. But the difference this time is that it's not casual, it's desperate. It's not about control, it's about reconnection. He's no longer chasing you for validation. He's chasing the peace that came from knowing you were in his corner. He starts to remember how your presence made everything lighter. You listened when no one else cared. You motivated him when he doubted himself. You believed in his dreams even when he didn't believe in them. And now, without you, that void is loud. That's what pushes him to fight for your attention again, because he knows deep down nobody else can fill that space. But this time the fight feels different. He can't just say a few sweet words and get you back. You're no longer responding the way you used to. He can feel the distance and it scares him. That's when it starts to sink in that your energy was never guaranteed. It was earned, and he stopped earning it long ago. Now, every unanswered text, every ignored call, every time you don't react the way he expects, it cuts a little deeper because he realizes that the attention he's now begging for was once freely given and he wasted it. That's the kind of pain that humbles a man. He starts doing things he never did before, trying to show up, trying to prove he's changed, trying to rebuild what he broke. But deep down, he knows it's not easy to win back something that was once pure. He's fighting now because he finally understands your worth. But the cruel truth is that realization came too late. He's learned the hard way that when a woman stops giving her attention, it's not to get his back. It's because she finally remembered her own value. And now he's the one chasing what he once ignored, feeling the ache of losing a love that was always real. When he starts to remember every little thing he once ignored, that's when the pain truly begins to grow inside him. The human mind is funny like that. When someone's gone, the memories start to play on repeat, especially the small, ordinary moments that didn't seem to matter before. He starts remembering your laugh, the sound of your voice, the little phrases you used to say, the way you'd fix his collar before he left, or how you'd text him just to check if he didn't eat. Back then, he didn't pay attention to any of it. He thought those things were just routine, just small acts that didn't need acknowledgement. But now that you're gone, those small details are the very things haunting him. They replay in his head like an echo that never fades. That's when he realizes how big those small things really were. He goes through his day and catches himself noticing the absence of those gestures. Maybe he's eating and remembers how you used to tease him about his favorite meal. Maybe he's driving and remembers how you'd sing off key to your favorite song, and suddenly he misses that sound he once laughed at. He starts realizing that what he thought were just little things were actually the heartbeats of the relationship. Tiny acts of love that built something real, and now, without them, everything feels empty. The world looks the same, but it doesn't feel the same. The house feels colder, the silence feels heavier, and every memory feels sharper. That's what regret does. It doesn't come through grand gestures. It comes through tiny reminders that slowly break you down. He starts scrolling through old photos and text, reading your old words as if they hold new meaning. He sees the care in your messages, the warmth in your tone, the effort in every little thing you did. And suddenly, all the things he once dismissed start to matter more than anything else. He begins to understand that love isn't just the big romantic moments. It's in the daily care, the small sacrifices, the quiet loyalty. And he realizes he had that, but he was too distracted to see it. That realization hurts the most because it's irreversible. He can't go back and relive those moments with new appreciation. All he can do now is remember them and wish he had treated them differently. The memories start to become bittersweet. They bring him comfort, but they also bring pain because every good memory now reminds him of what he no longer has. He remembers how you used to stay up late talking about life, how you always had his back when no one else did, how you loved him even when he didn't deserve it. Those memories become his punishment. constant reminders of what he lost through neglect. That's when it truly sinks in that those little things he ignored were never little at all. They were love in its purest form, and now that they're gone, he finally understands their value, but too late. When he starts watching your life from a distance, that's when the pain of losing you truly cuts deep. See, a man who once took your presence for granted will suddenly find himself on the outside looking in. He'll scroll through your social media, not to like your post, but to observe. He'll see your smile shining again, your confidence returning, your laughter becoming louder. And it will sting because now he realizes that your happiness no longer needs his contribution. You found a way to glow without his light. That kind of realization hits a man's ego and heart all at once. He starts wondering if you ever think about him, if those memories you shared still cross your mind. But the truth that unsettles him the most is seeing that you no longer look broken without him. You look free, and you'll start noticing every subtle change. Maybe you changed your hair, started dressing differently. Maybe you're going out more, surrounding yourself with energy that lifts you instead of drains you. And while he's trying to convince himself that he's happy for you, deep down he's not. Because watching you become the version of yourself he never appreciated hurts more than any argument you ever had. He realizes that you are always capable of this confidence, this strength, this peace. He just never nurtured it. And now someone else might get to see that side of you, the side that bloomed after the storm he created. That's the kind of thought that keeps a man up at night. He'll start comparing every woman he meets to you. Even if he tries to move on, something inside him keeps pulling him back. He might date, he might distract himself, but no one quite feels like you. No one laughs the same. No one speaks the same. No one brings that same calm energy you had. He starts to realize that what made you special wasn't just how you loved him. It was who you were when you loved him. And that's when the pain deepens, because he starts to see that losing you wasn't just losing a partner. It was losing peace, losing care, losing the feeling of being truly seen and understood. Every time he sees your growth, he feels a mix of pride and regret. Pride because deep down he knows he once had a part in your story. Regret because he knows his chapter in that story ended before it should have. He wishes he had fought harder, listened better, shown up when you needed him most. But now all he can do is watch from the sidelines as you rise higher, stronger, and happier than before. He'll realize too late that love is not about possession, it's about presence. And he lost that presence the moment he stopped valuing it. Watching you thrive without him is the hardest punishment of all, because it reminds him every day that the woman he once overlooked is now the woman he'll never get back. When he starts trying to come back into your life in small, indirect ways, that's when you know the pain of losing you has fully sunk in. A man who once acted like he didn't care will suddenly start finding reasons to reach out, not because he has something important to say, but because he just wants to feel connected to you again, even for a moment. He might text you out of nowhere with a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" or react to your story with a simple emoji. He might pretend he's just checking in, but deep down, he's testing the waters, trying to see if you've moved on. It's not that he's forgotten you, it's that he can't forget you. He's haunted by the emptiness that followed your absence, and he's hoping for a small chance to feel your energy again. That's when you'll notice how the man who once ignored your effort is now desperate for your